Good morning. Happy Sports Saturday. Big Sports Saturday, everyone. This is the Richard Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast, where we have commentary about MLB, NHL, NBA, and the NFL. On Saturday mornings, we talk college football and we talk boxing on the back end. A lot to talk about when it comes to boxing, but there's even more to talk about when it comes to college football. Let's get it started. Let's get it. I'm your host, Idris Salam. Let's talk about them Washington Huskies last night. 34-31 over the Oregon Ducks. Second victory over the Ducks, this time for the Pac-12 championship. Washington punches their ticket to the college football playoff. Who they'll play, we don't know. Maybe Michigan, maybe Georgia. We don't know. We'll see. Alabama's talking about how they belong there. But we're going to talk about that later. Washington jumped out to a 10-point lead early. Looked like it was going to be a blowout. Oregon came back. Field goal, 10-3. But Washington came back out with another 10 points. 20-3. This game is over. Pac-12 championship. Give it to the Washington Huskies. Hold up, y'all. Oregon came back. Bo Nix, 2-yard touchdown pass just before the half. Cut it to 20-10. Okay, come back out. Oregon gets the ball. Bo Nix, another 2-yard touchdown pass. 20-17. But the comeback wasn't over yet, ladies and gentlemen. Bo Nix came back out again. Touchdown pass. 3 touchdowns on the game. 239 yards passing on 21-34. Oregon Ducks took the lead. 24-20. But that will be the first and the last time they will have the lead. Michael Penix Jr., Heisman Trophy candidate Michael Penix Jr. took that team down the field, 82 yards. Touchdown. Bo Nix got the ball back on a Michael Penix interception. But that ensuing drive, first play of the drive, he threw a touchdown. He threw an interception. That one interception proved crucial. Michael Penix took the team downfield, touchdown pass to Quentin Moore. Washington went up, stayed ahead. That was it. Oregon came back late, scored a touchdown, tried to kick a field goal, tried to kick onside kick, recovered by Washington. Washington ran out the clock. Game over, Pac-12 championship. Penix Jr. finished 27 of 39 for 319 yards, 1 TD, and 1 interception that did not affect the game. It could have, but it didn't. Bo Nix, again, as I said, finished 21 of 34, 239 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 critical interception. But let's go with the unsung hero of the game. Washington running back Dylan Johnson, 152 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. Kept that Oregon defense off balance all night. Oh! And he threw 1 touchdown pass. Go ahead, my boy. Do your thing. Here's some notes. Washington is now 7-0 in one-score games. No other team in the country has more than 4 one-score games without at least 1 defeat. This is also the 9th straight game in which Washington has played amid a 1-score deficit in the 4th quarter. Let's talk about them being the comeback kids. The 239 yards passing by Bo Nix was the lowest he's had all season. The Washington Huskies have been in 3 Pac-12 championships. They won all 3. How about them dogs? Do your thing. Michael Penix Jr. did nothing to hurt his cause as Heisman Trophy. We'll talk about that probably during the week because things have shifted. Caleb Williams, Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels, and Marvin Harrison Jr. Let's not forget him. Big Ten Championship. Michigan, number 2 versus Iowa. Jim Harbaugh returns to the sidelines. Iowa looking for the big upset. Michigan is a 22-point favorite in this game. And I'm rolling with those points too. They played early in the season. Michigan won 27-14. Tough defense. Michigan's defense is allowing 15 points a game. J.J. McCarthy does what he does. Is he a top 5 quarterback in college football? I don't know. But the boy got game. He can throw the ball. He can run the ball. He doesn't make big mistakes. But the real story is Jim Harbaugh, as it's always been. He's going through the sign-stealing nonsense. Let this man coach his team. He's been suspended 6 games this season. And I'm like, What more do you guys want to do? Are you guys going to let them play today, win, then go to the national championship, maybe win, who knows? But they win. Let's say they win. Then you say, okay, we're going to take that championship back because we found new things about you. Leave them alone. Let these boys play. Let these kids play. Let this man coach. I feel they don't want this guy in there because that Big Ten commissioner does not want to hand Jim Harbaugh the trophy. Yes, you, Tony Petitti, you don't want to hand it to him, but you might have to because I don't see Iowa upsetting Michigan. Of course, it's college football and anything can happen. A team can have a letdown. This could be a trap game, as they say, leading up to the playoffs. And with Michigan, if they lose, it would surprise me if they drop Michigan down so low to where they get a Blue Bonnet Bowl bid. There's no more Blue Bonnet Bowl, everyone. But I'm just saying, one of those cheap bowls. Make them match them against someone who is, I don't know, 6-6, just because they want to smear this in Jim Harbaugh's face. Leave this man alone. Let him coach. Let him do what he does. All right. We got the SEC championship, or should I say the SEC national championship, whatever you want to call it. Georgia versus Alabama. What in the world is Nick Saban crying about now? He said it'd be an atrocity. It may not have been an atrocity. He might have used some other word, but I'm going to say atrocity. It would be an atrocity if an SEC team doesn't make it to the playoffs or national championship, but whatever. Nick, quit crying. You're a great coach, arguably the greatest coach in college football history. But you got to play the game. Victories come on the field, not in the polls, but we'll talk about that in a few minutes. Let me talk about the Georgia Bulldogs, looking for their third straight national championship. Kirby Smart got them boys in Athens bowling, boy. Telling you. Undefeated, number one ranking, except for that one hiccup by the posters who put Ohio State above Georgia. I think that was BS as well. But anyway, the Bulldogs are looking to win their third straight national championship. Do I think they'll beat Alabama? Yes. Alabama is not the Alabama team that they used to be. But let's talk about that. Now, Nick Saban, again, Alabama doesn't deserve nothing because my bullshit translator is saying the only thing you're worried about is your team getting there. And you guys had your chance. There's no way you're jumping. You know what? In fact, let me get my bullshit translator out. Let's see. Basically, what Nick Saban is saying is Alabama deserves a shot at the national championship. Nick Saban, I'm going to call you out. Like I said, you're a great coach, arguably the greatest. But just because you coach at Alabama doesn't mean you deserve a national championship shot or a shot at the championship. Just because your team is in Tuscaloosa, Alabama doesn't mean you deserve a national championship shot or playoff shot. Just because you are Nick Saban doesn't mean you deserve a playoff or national championship shot. You have to win on the field. You got boat raced versus Texas. You look sloppy throughout the season. You beat up on mediocre teams. And if not for some boneheaded decisions last week by Auburn, you guys would have got boat raced again. Fourth and forever, and these guys could not defend. Then the strip sack by the defense. So I don't want to hear this about it'll be atrocity or whatever. You have to win on the field. Go out there and beat Georgia today. And hope that Michigan loses. Hope Florida State loses. Hope Texas, who already bust you upside your head, loses. Hope all of that. And then let's talk about how Alabama deserves or should be in the talk for a national championship. And the only way I see them getting into a national championship, excuse me, a little under the weather, or even a playoff, is if Washington loses, which they didn't. They're in. Florida State loses, which the pollsters are already trying to pull them away. Texas loses, again, who already boat raced you. You guys are number 8. There are 7 teams ahead of you. One of them is already in. 3 of those teams rank from number 5 to number 7. 1 losses. So how do you jump all 3 teams, especially the one team that already beat you? Sorry, Alabama. You're not privileged. You got to handle your, you're not privileged. You got to handle your business and hope everything else falls in place for you. Let it be, let it be, let it be. We got an ACC championship going on. Number 15, Louisville versus number 4, Florida State. Battle for the ACC tournament at Bank of America Stadium here in the Queen City, baby. Charlotte, North Carolina. Louisville had their chance last week for a playoff spot or perhaps to compete for a playoff spot, but they lost against unranked Kentucky, a game they should have won. Florida State will look to continue their winning ways without their quarterback, Jordan Travis, and maybe perhaps without Tate Rodemaker. He suffered a head injury last week, came back, after he came out of the tent, and they won. But they said today's a game-time decision unless something's going on right now. The Florida State defense will need to come up big like they did last week to help Rodemaker or whoever is the quarterback. The pollsters, like with Michigan, will be looking to knock them out of the top 5 because of their quarterback situation. And as I keep saying, and I'll continue to say, this is unfair. Let these kids play. This is what they play for. I read a tweet from Scott Solomon of the Mike Farrell's Sports Network saying, and I shouldn't give him any notoriety, but I'm just going to call him out too, saying Texas deserved the final spot more than FSU. I'm like, how? Florida State ran through their competition. They beat the best in their divisions, I say, in their conference. They're undefeated. Yes, they're missing their starting quarterback, Jordan Travis. I hope you heal up, brother. Good quarterback. I watched you all season. Although I'm not a Florida State fan, I was rooting for you this whole season because I loved your style. Hope you heal up. Hope you come back. As I said about Alabama, no one deserves nothing. You have to earn your keep. The Seminoles have gone undefeated. And until they lose, they should stay where they are. Games are won on the field, not on social media, not on the polls. Mr. Solomon, with all due respect, you need to sit your ass down. I said it. Come for me. I want all the smoke. Number 18, Oklahoma State would love to knock off number 7, Texas, and spoil a national championship host the same way they did Oklahoma a couple of weeks ago. Mike Gundy, I'm a man. Come at me. But had those 8-3 Cowboys motivated to beat these boys, to beat Steve Sarkisian's Texas Longhorns. Hook 'em horns, baby. For the Big 12 championship. Texas, 1 loss in all, needs this. I think their hopes are kind of slim based on what's ahead of them. But who knows? Like I said, Alabama has to beat Georgia. Not saying it's out of the question, but I don't see it happening. Michigan will probably roll over Iowa. Florida State will probably have a tough one against Louisville. And that would give Texas a chance to jump into that spot. But I still feel even if Texas wins today, Florida State wins today, they're going to knock Florida State out. And again, it's unfair. I feel it's an atrocity. Let the kids play again, and I'm gonna keep banging that horn, banging the trash can like the Houston Astros. Let these kids play. Cardell Jones won a national championship with Ohio State, third string quarterback. Who says Florida State can't do it too? It's college football. Teams have ups, teams have downs. Let these kids play. This is what they do. This is what they train for. Let's talk boxing. Dave Benavidas destroyed Demetrius Boo Boo Andre last week, 6th round TKO to retain his. He doesn't have a title, but I'll just say retain his People's Championship at super middleweight, 168 pounds. Andre was 32-0. Had been calling out a lot of fighters over the years, doing fighters between Triple G, Canelo, Charlo, whoever was there. David Benavidas took the challenge because that's what David Benavidas does. First couple of rounds, Andre looked good. Aggressive, smothering Benavidas punches, landed some good shots to the body, some to the head. But things shifted in the third round. Benavidas came out doing what David Benavidas does, the Mexican monster. Stiff jab, hard shots to the body. The right cross was just nailing Andre, bloodying him, battering him, dropping him in the 4th round, finishing him off in the 6th round. I don't know what's left for Andre. He's 35 years old, and last Saturday night he looked 35. Came out early, but this is a man who also moved up in weight, so I'll give him that. Maybe he should drop back down to 160 and see what he can do there. Challenge one of the Charlo brothers, have one come up or one come down or whatever. See what happens, I don't think his career is over. And he says he's not done. He's going to go back and reevaluate things. I think he'll come back. He's a good fighter. He's just over his head. Too much inactivity. 7 fights in 6 years. That's not good. That's 1 fight a year. That's not good for anyone unless you're someone who stays in the gym. He looked fit, like he's ready to go. But I say after the 2nd round, it was all Benavidas. Benavidas did what he did what he's supposed to do, did what he said he was going to do. Respect to him. I'd say he's one of my favorite fighters right now. He's been for a little while. And again, after the fight, he called out Canelo. And there's nothing else Canelo could do but fight him. I know he wants to fight Bivol again. But come on, man. Give this guy a shot. He's been calling you out. I know you keep saying how you don't want to fight other Mexicans, which is nonsense. And for some of these people out here who call themselves fight fans, who say Canelo doesn't have to fight anyone. Yes, he does. Canelo is the champion. You don't win a championship and just sit there and bask in your glory. Excuse me. Your job is to defend your title and solidify yourself as the best. You have a guy up here in David Benavidas who's ready to fight you. He's right there for the take. You beat him. Who do you have to fight? No one. You basically cleaned out your division. You fought the best. You went up to fight the best in other divisions. You fought the best in lower divisions. You did what you had to do. But as long as you hold these titles, you have to defend them. WBA, WBC. In fact, let's talk about that as we move on to Terrence Crawford and Jerron Boots Ennis. As we all know, Terrence Crawford was stripped of his title, IBF championship, IBF welterweight title, because they ordered him to fight Jerron Boots Ennis when he already had in his clause when he fought Errol Spence a rematch clause. So he has to honor that clause. If not, come on. He's going to get stripped anyway of something. And him and Spence are going to fight at 154. So the IBF, who does not recognize rematch clauses, which is foolish and irresponsible as a boxing organization, they stripped him of his title and handed it to Bruce Ennis. I am so tired of all of these boxing organizations, WBA, WBC, IBF, WBO, IBC, NBC, ABC, CIA, WAP, whatever. I just made those up. But I'm tired of all of them with these sanctioning fees and all this nonsense. And if you don't fight this fighter, we're going to take your belt, even though you have this other belt and you have to fight this fighter. It's like, come on, y'all. Cut it out. I also don't like, well, I'll talk about the divisions on another show. Like getting back to Terrence Crawford, there's nothing for him to gain in fighting Jerron Bruce Ennis. For one thing, Ennis has not fought any of the top tier fighters to even deserve a shot at Terrence Crawford. Crawford is the undisputed, or until he got stripped, the undisputed welterweight champion. He's in his mid-30s. He's looking to wind down his career. There is nothing to gain for him in fighting Ennis, fighting Boots. He's looking for the signature fights. Charlo, Canelo, undisputed champions, multi-title champions. Canelo keeps saying he doesn't want to fight him, or he's not going to fight him because he's too small and all this other nonsense. But then again, he doesn't want to fight just David Benavidas. Make up your mind, Canelo. This man is willing to move up to 160 to fight you. You're talking 3 weight classes: welterweight, junior middleweight, to fight you for your titles. You're willing to fight Jamel Charlo, and shouts out to Jamel Charlo. I'm not a fan of neither Charlo brothers, but shouts out to Jamel Charlo. At least he made that jump up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo. You know, got his ass whooped, but still, I give him a heart medal. You know, attaboy. But here it is. Terrence Crawford is willing to move up in weight to fight you, and you're making excuses. Jamel Charlo, you're another one. You kept saying how you're going to do this to Crawford. He can get this work. Okay, Crawford wants you. Crawford already beat your boy Spence. He's giving Spence a rematch at 154. If he whoops him again, what are you going to do? You don't have any excuses. Fight this man. Crawford's looking for career-defining fights right now before he retires. He might have 2 fights left in him. Depends on who's out there. Let this man fight. Come on now. Give him the shot. As for Jerron Bruce Ennis, good fighter. I won't lie. He looks real great in his fights, 26 years old. Has knocked out his opponents. But again, he has not fought anyone. Anyone who you can say, okay, he fought this guy. And the IBF just gave him the title. I always felt that, and a lot of boxing fans feel like if there's a vacant title, you let the 2 best fighters in that division fight it out, number 1 and number 2. You just don't hand it to someone. And I felt when they handed the title to Boots, that's what they wanted to do. You know, they could have said, let's fight for this. But now Boots is the champion. I will call the paper champion. There'll be a lot of people calling him out. And since he wanted to fight so much and be this champion and whatever, now it's your chance. When someone challenged for that title, we don't want to hear, I want $50 million to fight so-and-so. No. You have not earned the right to dictate how much money you're going to make because you didn't earn that title. You handed that title. Of course, you could say, I want a certain amount of money, but you can't be like Floyd Mayweather and say, I want 50 million. I want 100 million. No, you're not that guy yet, man. Big respect to you because I've been watching your fights and I enjoy watching you fighting, but you're not that guy yet. Let's be honest. Call out Keith Thurman. Fight him. You know, he's out there. There's a lot of fighters out there. Hey, go up to 154 and fight Crawford if you want to fight him so much. Call out Errol Spence to fight him. You know, pull Victor Ortiz out of the archives. There's a lot of people you can fight out there. Manny Pacquiao would love to fight anybody. This guy's 100 years old, but he'll fight you. Thank you for tuning in to the Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast. Please like and subscribe to the channel. You can watch us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Spotify. We're everywhere. Just Google us. For Richie Hicks Jr., I'm Idris Salam, aka Bosco from the Bronx. It's been great. Good luck to your teams today. Have a blessed Saturday. See y'all next week.